What is up, Bucs Nation? Welcome back to another one of my videos. I am Rami B, and the NFL schedule just came out about 30 minutes ago. So I am going to give you my predictions to every game and my overall reaction to the schedule. And if you are new here, make sure you click the subscribe button down below. Stay tuned for all my Buccaneer video, and you check out my old ones if you haven't. My reaction to the Brady signing, the uniform change, Gronk signing, all that kind of stuff, the draft. So make sure you stay tuned and catch up on all that good stuff. If you see me veering over to my left, I have my laptop up with the entire schedule. I don't want to make any mistakes in regard to the times, days, and the team in order like that, so please don't mind me. But I know why you're here, so let's get into it. Week 1 is at New Orleans, a 4:25 p.m. game. I think we lose that game. There is no discussion about it. I think with the potential of not having an offseason, Brady won't be able to build that much rapport with our offensive players, and I think that's going to hurt us. New Orleans is a very dominant team at home, and they will have all that chemistry, so I think that's easily a loss. I don't think that's going to set the stage for a really disappointing season. I think that's just a loss that we have to take. I think it'll humble the team because of all the expectations signing Brady. I think the team will be competitive and will play really hard, but I think ultimately we will lose that game. Week 2, at home against Carolina, 1 p.m. game. I think we win that one. I think last season when Carolina beat us in London, our defense was not at its best, and they took advantage of it with Kyle Allen. I think now our defense will be much better. I don't think Carolina, with their new coach, is going to be dominant from the front. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater will light us up like he did last year when he was playing for Drew Brees. I think Bridgewater is going to have to work hard and take some risks, and I don't think we're going to make it easy for him, so I think we win that game. And being our first home game, our home opener with Brady and all of that, there's going to be a lot of hype, even if we did lose to New Orleans, if fans are allowed at the stadiums, of course. So I think just all of that energy in the stadium is going to get us that win. Week 3 of 4:25 p.m. at Denver. I think we win that game. I know Drew Lock is there. The team is very high on Drew Lock, and they drafted some good receivers. I think the altitude may be a difference, but I think the difference maker for us will be having Brady, who has had experience playing in Denver a good amount in his career. I don't know the exact number, but I think having him there and getting the team ready, I think we win that game. I don't think Drew Lock is experienced enough to compete with Tom Brady, and I think our defense will be hype after winning that home game and that energy and seeing that there's a lot of potential for the season. Week 4 against the Chargers at home, I think we win that one as well. I think that game pushes us to 3-1 for the first quarter of the season. I think that the Chargers don't really have a QB. I know they drafted Justin Herbert, whatever his name is. I don't think he's going to be up to where he needs to be. He's still a rookie, and I think we'll be able to take advantage of that. And if it's Tyrod Taylor, I think we'll be able to beat him. Again, Todd Bowles is a great defensive coordinator, and I think the first half of the season, the defense is going to carry the team as our offense builds chemistry and they build that momentum that they need with Tom Brady there. Week 5 is a Thursday night football game at Chicago, so at 8:25 p.m. night game. I think we win that one. I think Nick Foles at that point will be playing. I think we know how to beat Nick Foles. We've done it twice in the last 2 seasons when he was with the Eagles, and I guess with Jacksonville he played the first half. But I think we beat him there. I think, yeah, their defense is pretty good, but I don't think it's as elite as it once was a couple seasons ago. And then I think having Brady rather than Jameis, again, he's one of the smartest quarterbacks in NFL history, and will be able to read the defense and dissect them a little bit. So I think that is a win as well. It'll push us to 4-1 on the season. The next week we have Green Bay at home, a 4:25 p.m. game. I will say that we lose that game. I think we have potential to win, of course. I think with Brady and the roster, we have potential to win every game, but I think we're going to lose that game. I think Aaron Rodgers is playing with a chip on his shoulder now that they drafted a quarterback behind him, and I think he is going to not be happy, and he's going to play with a grudge, and I think that's going to hurt us. I think he's coming into Tampa. Hopefully, you know, if there's fans, we sell out, but as you know, those fans from those areas like Green Bay, they travel very well, and Bucs fans like to sell tickets. I hope that's not the case, but I'm expecting that the arena, our stadium, will have a good amount of Green Bay fans. I think Green Bay just has too much chemistry. They've played well together, and last year they were a game away from the Super Bowl, so I think that they will win that one. Of course, I'd love to say we win every one, but I think realistically we lose that one. The next week is a Sunday night football game at Las Vegas. I think we lose that game as well, and it'll push us to 4-3 at that point. The reason I say we're going to lose, I think Vegas is going to be a tough place to play. I think Oakland fans will travel very well, and I think all the new fans will be there. I think Chucky knows what he's doing. I think with some of that chemistry, they weren't a bad team last season. They had a pretty good run till everything started kind of... They didn't end the season off pretty strong, but I think we lose that one. It's a West Coast game. We typically don't do well traveling to the West Coast. It's a game we can win. I'd give us a higher chance of winning that one than the Green Bay Packers, but I think we do lose that one ultimately. And yeah, that's unfortunate. So we'll be 4-3 at the 7-game mark, which isn't the best, but don't worry. The second half of the season is going to be much better. The next week, we play Monday Night Football at the Giants. I think we win that one. I don't think Danny Dimes shreds us like he did last season. I think at this point the offense is going to have better chemistry, and we're going to start noticing that they're able to move the ball and score points at a better pace than they were prior. I think the defense is going to keep Danny Dimes on lock, and I'm not worried about Saquon Barkley. I think our run defense is going to be just as dominant, if not maybe a little less dominant, but still #1 in the league. I think we win that one. I don't see it as being an issue. I think Brady outperforms Danny Dimes, and we win that one. So then we'll be at 5-3 at the halfway point of the season. Not the best, but better than we have been in the past, where we've always been like 3-5. The next game, Sunday night at home against New Orleans. That's a game I want to go to. I really want to go to that game. We'll see when tickets start being sold and all that kind of stuff, the prices. That's a game I want to go to, and I think we win that one. I think at that point, typically the New Orleans Saints the last few years start off very hot and they start slowly, not necessarily losing a lot, but they become much more vulnerable in the second half of the season. Drew Brees gets a little more tired. I think for some reason the past few seasons they started out like undefeated and then they started losing a lot more. So I think we win that one. I think we have a lot of chemistry at that point on offense. I think we're able to move the ball, score a lot of points. I think the stadium is going to be filled with Bucs fans. Our first home primetime game. Yeah, it's our first home primetime game at that point. We would have had 3 prior on the road at Vegas, New York, and Chicago. But this will be the first one at home, and I think we're going to pack that thing out. I think we're going to dominate. The energy is going to be crazy. It's going to mimic the old glory time Bucs. It'll even mimic that Seattle Seahawks game in 2016 where we choked them out and the stadium was rocking. So I think we win that one, puts us at 6-3. The next week, a 1 p.m. game at Carolina. Same thing as before. They might be a little bit better. I think we beat them because we're going to have gotten so much better throughout the season. So I think we win that one. Not much to say to that. The week after that, which will be November 23rd, the week of a few days before Thanksgiving, we are at home against the Los Angeles Rams, Monday Night Football. That's another game I would want to go to. I'd want to go to the New Orleans one or that one or the Chiefs game the week after. But I think that one, I think we win that one. We saw the Rams last year were not as impenetrable as they were in past, and they were very vulnerable. Jared Goff was not at his best, and I think people are going to start exposing them offensively. They got rid of Gurley. I don't know if they drafted another running back. They might have. I can't remember. But I'm not worried about it being as productive as Gurley, and I don't see Jared Goff lighting us up. We beat him last year with a very, very vulnerable defense. We put 55 on him. And I think this year, being a Monday night at home, I think, again, the energy is going to be crazy coming off a Sunday night win against New Orleans at home. I think that our stadium is going to be packed. After that game, we will be 8-3 at the 11-game mark, and I think we will be vying for a division lead and potentially the 1 or 2 seed, even though the 2nd seed now is not going to have a bye week because of the expanded playoffs. The next week, Sunday, a 4:25 p.m. game at home against Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to say that we will beat the Chiefs. I think, again, the energy in our stadium after coming 2 primetime games, 3 primetime wins in the last month. I think going into that game, we're going to have a lot of energy, and I think we're going to play up to our opponent. I think our secondary will be able to somewhat contain the Chiefs' secondary. I trust Todd Bowles, and I think that our D-line at that point is going to be gelling really, really well, and I think they're going to be able to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes, and I think our offense is going to be very well. I think our new draft pick at safety, Antoine Winfield, is going to line up against Travis Kelce, and I think he's not going to obviously hold him to no catches, but I think it's going to make a difference. I think we win that game, so we will be 9-3 heading into the bye week. It's a late bye week. I don't mind it. I'll get into my reaction to that later, but I think it's going to be a good point where we're building up chemistry and all that stuff, and then we get to rest and really make a playoff push. The week after the bye, we are at home against the Minnesota Vikings. We win that one. They were pretty good last year. We're playing at home again. Their fans will travel, but I think we win that one. We're coming off a bye week, coming off 5 straight wins, according to my prediction. So I think the energy is going to be good. We win that one as well. Then the next week, which is week 15, we will be at Atlanta. 1 p.m. game. I think we lose that game. I don't think Atlanta's going to be that good of a team, but I think we will lose that because I think we will not. We're going to expect them to not be good, and we're going to play down to their level. So I think we lose that one in Atlanta. I think coming in with Brady and all of that, their fan base is going to be energized to try to steal a win out of us, and I think they will win that one. Week 16, as of right now, it says Saturday or Sunday. The time is to be determined at Detroit. I think we beat Detroit there. I don't think they really made many great additions. Matthew Stafford will be back, so obviously they're going to be a little more of a threat, but I'm not too worried about them. I think we win that one. I don't think it'll be a struggle for us. And then the final game of the season is at home against Atlanta, 1 p.m. I think we win that one. I think at that point we might be fighting for first seed or 2nd seed in the NFC, or we might be fighting for a division title against the Saints. I think beating Atlanta will put us at 12-4 for the season, with the second half going 7-1. So a complete turnaround in the second half like we did last year, but obviously a more dominant one. And I think we will be vying for that first seeded division title. I don't think Atlanta at that point will be playing for much. They'll try to spoil it for us, but I think with so much on the line, Brady and Gronk coming alive are going to make sure that the team is ready to play and will not let that slip away. This is where they thrive the best, when there's pressure. Gronk obviously plays his best games under pressure, and I think Brady as well plays his best games under pressure. So the team will be ready. So I think overall we're going to end at 12-4 for the season. Overall, I think the schedule is great. If you look at it, a lot of our tougher games are at home. We got a lot of good quarterbacks coming in. Obviously, Drew Brees is coming in. We got the Green Bay Packers coming in, so Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. A lot of our road games are with not as good quarterbacks, not the upper tier echelon. So I think that helps us out a lot. It looks like we have in the second half of the season 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 home games in the second half of the season, which is great. The NFL really screwed us over last year with that road stretch and then that London game and not being home for like a 2-month stretch. So I think they're making it up for us in the second half, having those home games. Weather's nicer, the fans are going to be in there packed. We have 5 primetime games. I'm surprised that we have a Monday night football game against the Giants, who aren't that good, instead of a Sunday night game against the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that would have been a better game. Not even switching the dates, but just keeping it the same way and having the Kansas City game that late. But I think they wouldn't want us to have 4 primetime games in a 5-week stretch. But that would have been a better matchup. Primetime football, Sunday night football, Brady, Mahomes. Our team will have a lot of momentum on offense and moving the ball and all that kind of stuff. And the Chiefs obviously are a powerhouse on offense. So I think that would have been great. But overall, I think 5 primetime games, I believe, is the max that they give teams. So I think, you know, obviously with Brady and Gronk and all the hype, we're matching that. The Detroit game might flex into a primetime game, so that may put us at 6. But I don't remember in the last 10, 15 years probably where we've had that many primetime games, and that's kind of the Brady and Gronk effect. So I'm really excited about the season. I think it's going to turn out really well. Like I said, that's my prediction, 12-4. I think the season lined up perfectly the way they have everything scheduled and the timing. So yeah, overall a great schedule. I think it's a really good one. I don't mind the late bye week. I think it's good to get us ready into the playoff push. I think at that point will be a good time to recover. I don't like early bye weeks. They help when you lose a lot and you can take that break, but I think we will be winning. Like I said, going into the bye week, we will be at that point 8-4, 9-4, something like that. So I think it'll be good. But yeah, overall, that's my reaction and my prediction. Please comment down below what you think your season prediction is. What games are you really looking forward to, and what games do you really want to go to? Like I said, I want to go to the home game, Sunday Night Football against the Saints, Monday Night Football against the Rams, or that Sunday evening game against the Chiefs. So yeah, comment those down below. Let me know what you think of the season, what you predict. And yeah, if you are new here, make sure you click subscribe. This is longer than my general videos, my Bucks videos, so I try not to make them this long. But yeah, if you stayed tuned this long, thank you very much. I'm super excited for the season. Like I said, I hope it does go on. And let's go Tampa Bay. As always, let's go Bucks Nation. Let's get it on. Let's get to this Super Bowl. And as always, I am out.
Our offense tough, our defense rough. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Ain't no other team stopping us. Go Bucks, go Bucks.